Battlefield 2042 is already off to a really good start. Now, it's been a slow burn, and Battlefield 2042 has definitely taken its time to reveal information, reveal gameplay, and reveal what it's up to, but each time we get new information, it's good information. But recent information about the progression system in Battlefield and the anti-cheat system have been really good news. Now, I'm going to go through both of these things, the anti-cheat especially, in quite a lot of detail, because these are really great fundamentals for Battlefield 2042, and there's a lot to know here that perhaps the average person might not be able to tell you. So to start with, let's talk about the anti-cheat. Now, actually having anti-cheat in a paid first-person shooter is quite important, and many games in the past have relied on just simply the fact that the game costs money to get away with things. Battlefield 2042 is not doing that. It's deploying Easy Anti-Cheat, and Easy Anti-Cheat is actually a really good anti-cheat. It's a very complex anti-cheat, and it's one that actually gives the developers of the game a lot of tools to use in the background to continually catch cheaters. EAC is widely known as being pretty damn good in Fortnite, which actually uses EAC on the UE4 engine, and it's been pretty decent on Apex Legends. Apex Legends uses a much older game engine, which is sometimes a little bit more prone to manipulation. So having Easy Anti-Cheat on a paid game that actually costs money, that is on a much more complex and more modern engine, is definitely something that bodes well for Battlefield. Fortnite in particular and Epic Games do a really good job of keeping Fortnite in a clean state, and that game is free to play on one of the largest games in the world. Add a £60 price tag to that and it gets a little bit trickier. Hackers would effectively have to steal accounts, they would have to try and get the game out of region for really cheap in ways that aren't really successful and add more hurdles to the experience if somebody were to try to cheat in the game. Easy Anti-Cheat is a kernel level anti-cheat, meaning it is a system scanning anti-cheat, and although it is possible to circumvent EAC, it actively runs self-integrity checks, and depending on the tools provided to the developers, which I imagine, considering this is a large title, it'll be all of them, EAC is capable on working client side, and the server is also capable of communicating with EAC from server to client side. The kernel level scanner will effectively pick up any cheats that are running in the background or things that have been manipulated and close off the game or potentially even ban the player. On the server side end, there are lots of tools such as statistical analysis that will allow them to pinpoint cheaters. So if they see a cheater using an aimbot who has zero recoil, they will have statistics telling them that they are cheating in order to ban them. So a combination of both a system level scanner, a kernel system, the ability to use statistical analysis, and a large number of tools in the background for developers make EAC quite a formidable foe for people who want to cheat. And again, this is a paid game, so if you cheat and you get banned, you would have to spend a lot of money all over again to get back into the game. I'm not saying it's going to be impossible to cheat in 2042, EAC is definitely something you can get past, and some people will be able to do that. But fundamentally, the fact that there is a reporting system in the game, an anti-cheat kernel level system in the game, likely some server-side scanning existing in the game as well, and then the dev tools available to the developers means that in a paid title that costs money and is difficult to both hardware ID spoof and IP spoof, Battlefield is heading in a really good direction. You have hardware IP bans already from the get-go in Battlefield, you have a back-end system capable of identifying cheaters, and you have an easy anti-cheat system at a kernel level. So overall, considering the knowledge I have of EAC and how it works in other titles that I have had conversations on or worked on before, I'm fairly confident that it's going to be a good or decent system. It won't be perfect, and it entirely is reliant on the ability of DICE and EA to continue to monitor and work hard in the background, but it can be very successful. For comparison, a game like Warzone, which has been riddled with cheaters up until the Vanguard integration, which is coming later this year, doesn't have any kernel level anti-cheat, it doesn't have any statistical analysis, it seemingly doesn't have any tools for the developers to identify cheaters, and is entirely reliant on players reporting players and manually reviewing gameplay footage, which is incredibly tedious, takes a very long time, and is why the cheating situation in Warzone has been such a mess. Now, alongside all of this is allegedly a commitment to positive play, allowing you to report a player for abusive text chat, abusive voice chat, cheating or exploiting, game sabotage, or an offensive name or harassment. This is available to everybody in the game, and you can even add context or a comment and report them directly from the game. This is really good. It's something akin to Warzone, although Warzone doesn't really have anything in the background to help out. Having a reporting system on top of ID bans, hardware bans, the anti-cheat, all of these other things working in tandem adds more and more hurdles and more routes of detection. It should also reduce things like harassment, stream sniping, and other things like that happen to go on in these games. So overarchingly, a really good first step for Easy Anti-Cheat and Battlefield working together. It's very difficult to quantify how good the anti-cheat will be on the whole because a lot of it is reliant on how the tools are utilized and how the analysis and backend works together in tandem. It's something that can be super effective, and I use Fortnite as a regular example because Fortnite is a huge game and it's entirely free to play, and it runs on everything from Android to Xbox to PlayStation to PC. So there's a lot for them to figure out there, and even Fortnite manages to maintain a certain degree of cleanliness, which is super impressive, and it goes to show just how effective it can be in the right hands. It's also great that there are no second chances this time round. There's no potential warnings that we've seen in Warzone in the past. If you cheat in Battlefield, you are going to be banned instantly and permanently, which is something we are happy to see this time round. Moving on to progression, and we have a really good progression tree this year with different kinds of victories, different kinds of medals and rewards and ribbons, and it's looking fantastic. Battlefield has always been a good game in the sense that you can not necessarily get lots of kills and still be a crucial team player or somebody who deserves being rewarded. If you're somebody who helps your teammates, heals people, resupplies people, repairs vehicles, you're just as important as somebody who's dropping 60 or 70 kills. And there are lots of ribbons to reflect that, such as playing the objective, the ability to have a revive medal and ribbon, a logistics ribbon, an intel ribbon, and a combat ribbon. And these are really fantastic to see. There's also XP summaries at the end of every single round which tell you what levels you're getting up to, and every single weapon in the game has mastery tiers, from tier 5 to tier 1, taking your weapon from a basic weapon to a weapon that you have truly mastered, and there's something that you can actually show off as well. And on top of all of that, the dog tag system has been replaced with the player card system, which has an icon and a title, the ability to see which platform they're on, the player level, and the player badges and player card art. So you could have your weapon mastery badges at the bottom if you wanted to, a certain title such as Stab Master, which is the example used, and different kinds of art, which is really cool. It's lots of progression and lots of things you want to see. And it appears that the leveling system in Battlefield goes all the way up to S levels. So the max level is 99, and once you reach 99, you then go into S levels, which are like super levels, I guess. And it starts at S001 and ends at S999, which is absolutely ridiculous. It means that you could effectively go from level 1 to level 100 earning different rewards and unlocking different weapons, but once you reach level 100 and you've unlocked everything, you then have 999 more levels to prove that you are a Battlefield veteran, which is cool. I know a lot of people like that. And tied to all of this again is cosmetics. We have a rare cosmetic, a common cosmetic, an epic cosmetic, and a legendary cosmetic. And so far they look very grounded and look good in a good way. So folks, that's about it from me today. I'm really excited for 2042. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll catch you again in the next one.